to say this one thing. Here lately, we've had lots of people call the dojo, and I've been turning them down for a variety of reasons. One reason I've been turning them down is because a lot of them tend to be an asshole. You know, I don't know if there's a proper word. They just don't tend to be nice people. And I feel like as a teacher, I don't want to teach people how to do the things that we're doing if they don't have a good heart. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when they say, hey, I'd like to come in for a free class, my name is blah, 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 and then, you know, you're looking and you see, you know, this, they've posted all this hateful shit, and they've posted all this stuff, and they're saying all this shit. You really don't need to be in here training with this if you're just going to be an asshole. You know what I mean? Now I say that, but I mean, I guess I could be more politically correct and say something a little bit more nicer. You know, we only train people with a good heart. We don't train people who are, you know, but we don't have, you guys know me. I don't talk like that. They're assholes. They're hateful. They're mean. They're just being an asshole. But I do think it's important that we do recognize that we do have to hold ourselves to a position. That particular position, when I say, and I said this last class, I don't know if you were in class, I think you were in class when we were here when I said this, but when I say, okay guys, I don't want you guys to be doing this, I don't want you guys, you shouldn't be doing that, you shouldn't be doing that, I'm going to tell you guys up front, and I'm glad the camera's running when I say this part, that isn't Christa saying that, that isn't, you know, Sensei saying that, or Soke saying that, or Soke Anshu, or whatever words you guys use to name me. You know, that isn't me saying that. That's not, I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, you should live this way. No. I teach the way of the samurai, and there's a code called Bushido. And there are the 21 precepts of the samurai as well, the samurai kokoro. And those ideologies and those ways, the way of the warrior, is how I live my life. And if someone comes into this dojo and they want to study Koryu Bujutsu and Koryu Ninjutsu, the old way, then I would assume they would want to take those old principles and apply them to their life as well. So when I say you guys should not be doing that, that's because that does not fit Bushido. That does not fit samurai kokoro, the precepts of the samurai, or the way of the warrior. Now, living in the way of the warrior is much different than living in the way of other people. Living in the way of an asshole, living in the way of a thief, living in the way of a beggar, living in the way of an artist, living in the way of a dancer, living in the way, you know, the way of a dancer, the way of a musician, the way of an actor, the way of a comedian, the way of... That's not our way. The way of the warrior is much different. You literally bow in multiple times a week for hours on end. We're beating the shit out of our bodies. We sweat. We bleed with one another. We beat the hell out of each other, and then we bow to make each other better. You were training in the arts of war to make each other better. Or beating the snot out of each other. You're sore. You know, it's a constant battle of that devil on your shoulder that you're trying to get rid of, and all your insecurities and doubts and the things that you can't do. And you know, it doesn't matter. All of us have inability. We all have things that we're not good at. We all have things that we're not going to be able to be as good at some things as we are with other things. We all have this physical inabilities. That doesn't mean we have to have a weakness. See, that's what the training's for. So we don't have a weakness. But we're always going to have some things better than the other, and we're always going to have some things that we're more predisposed to being good at as opposed to other things, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and all that comes into training. And some people don't understand what it's like to come in and sweat, bleed, and put that on the line with your training partner and have that warriorship as a family, that camaraderie. Those people that you can talk about anything to, and there's zero judgment because everyone here is for the same goal. You know what I mean? And a lot of people don't understand that. So when they're like, why are you teaching the way of the warrior? The way of this, this is an old thing. Well, this is what we do. You know, and I'm not saying that we're the only ones. There are lots of great martial arts out there. Yes, I'm very pro me and my organization, the Budo Ryu Kai, but you know, when I say 90% of all martial arts are bullshit, 90% of all martial arts are bullshit. But it's because it's the 90% of martial art teachers are bullshit. There are great, all the martial arts can be used in whatever way they were made for. And there are, I would say, about 10% of all teachers in any martial art, whether it's karate or aikido or krav maga or whatever, 10% are probably pretty good at what they do. 90% are not good at what they do. And I can say here, we're the Budo Ryu Kai, we teach Koryu arts, we teach Koryu Jiu-jitsu, right? Koryu Bujutsu, Koryu Ninjutsu. And I can say 90% of the people that teach Ninjutsu and Bujutsu are absolutely shit. They're not bad, they're shit. 90% are shit. They know all the terminology, they woo students with their vocabulary and the way they can do certain tricks. And I do call them tricks, by the way, because if you can't do it with full contact, someone beating you in the fucking head, then it is not a technique, it's a trick. And if you guys are in an organization to where you never get punched, you're not learning techniques, you're learning tricks. Because a technique should be able to be utilized when someone's beating you in the fucking head. And if you don't have someone punching you in the head, then a technique, it's a trick. So some people, teachers, they like to teach lots of cool tricks. Oh, against this and now, do this and do this. And they think it's great and they buy it. That's a problem. You know what I mean? But that's not the way it should be. Not everyone back in the day was a samurai. Not everyone has the heart and the desire and the will to be a warrior. That's why schools that are real and they're teaching hard martial arts and the way it should be, they're never going to have 1,000 people. Because there isn't enough of them, there isn't that many people that can actually do it. You know what I mean? They're interested in it, they'll buy the damn DVD, but they're not really going to do it. You know what I'm saying? So when I say, guys, that's not the way you should be doing that, don't do that, I'm not saying it because, I'm passing on my judgment of the way I live my life to the way you live your life. No, not at all. I'm saying what you're doing, it doesn't match the way. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like if you go to, I hate to use this example, but I'm going to use the example because it paints a good picture. You go to church, and you know that whoever your preacher or minister or whatever, guardian, whatnot, whatever, right? The people that are teaching at a church or a temple or a synagogue or whatever, right? You know that they sin and they fuck up just as much as you. But they're saying, you shouldn't be doing that. They're not saying that because Bob, whoever the particular teacher, Bible school study teacher is telling you how to live your life. He's saying it because it doesn't fit in the 10 Commandments. Or that doesn't fit in whatever rule it is to practice that particular religion. Do you catch what I'm saying? And although he's probably breaking the same amount, he's just trying to help you out. Here, I'm not perfect by any means. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm just saying that I do live my life by the way. And that's what I teach. And I want my students to be able to understand every aspect of what I teach. And if a student doesn't have the mentality or the want to be that good, they want to study the way and the way that they do things, the way they hold themselves, their action, then they don't need to be here. Yeah, because you have to stand for something. There's an old saying, you stand for something or you fall for anything. And the thing is you have to, I want to help good people be better people and learn how to protect themselves and protect the ones they love. I don't want to take hateful, prejudiced, bigot, racist, and mean, hateful people that's into violence and teach them how to be very efficient in violence so they can hurt more people. You know what I mean?